And Tony, does it feel like a little bit of redemption as he gets a big hug and a high five to Jimmy Carr? On Thursday night, you came so close, and this has to feel good to get to seal the deal on Saturday night in front of this big crowd.
Yeah, it does, and we got our buddy Chuck Sink from Sage Fruit here, and Rusty Rush from Rush Truck Centers is watching too, so yeah, it is nice. I mean, I felt like I let one get away the other night, and still not exactly sure what I did wrong, but I know I did something to screw it up those last 4 laps the other night, but it's this thing's just been fast all night. We really didn't qualify that good, but it put us on the pole for the heat race, and yes, that's so important here, is just getting in the dash. So getting in the top 2 in the heat race there was important, and you know, drawing that outside front row starting spot in the dash was key. You
seem to be able to get through lap traffic so easy. What was it about this car tonight that you could move all over the racetrack getting through those lap cars?
We were actually a little bit too tight, which made it a little bit more difficult, believe it or not, but you know, that's the thing about Bubba Raceway Park. There's not another racetrack in the world that's shaped like this, and with that, it creates a lot of unique passing opportunities, and it's just a matter of catching them at the right time and you know, kind of knowing where they're going to go when you get there. So it's trying to watch those guys a couple laps before you catch them to see where they're running, and that way you can plan for when you're going to get to them.
Track's so fast tonight. What's that say about the team you've got behind you and the equipment that they put you in?
Well, I've always been in good cars, you know, and it's because of Jimmy, you know, Jimmy Carr and Marty Williams and Quicksilver from Pennsylvania, and just Ayrton, you know, from Indianapolis. That kid, we've been wearing him out. He's a glutton for punishment, but he's great help, and you know, keeps me on my toes too, and you know, keeps me honest. So we got a really good group of guys, and yeah, I'm just glad to finish this one off because I know it took about 5 minutes for Jimmy to talk to me the other night after I screwed the first one up. So I'm glad to finish this one off.
Your 4th career All-Star win. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Tony Stewart, tonight's main event winner. We'll grab Lucas Wolf here, and Lucas, a tough track tonight, battling Mother Nature, but the late restart there, did you feel like that maybe gave you a shot to get past Smoke with a couple to go?
Well, it was going to be difficult, obviously. Firstly, just glad that they stuck it out and we had the race. We were all here to race, so you know, just happy with that. Certainly a decent result for us. He really got beat bad on the original start, which you can't give up good shots like that. But ultimately, he was very fast. Did a tremendous job in lap traffic. He was I certainly couldn't even see him at the end of that long run, but. I got a little bit of better run off of 4 and thought maybe it was as close as I was going to get to a challenge, but ultimately he was very good and was positioned right, and I never really was able to mount a serious challenge, but it was tricky through traffic. It was just kind of got all stacked up there, so a good way to end our weekend here at Ocala, and just again thanks to everybody involved for sticking it out and putting the show on.
Gotta feel good about the direction you guys are heading as we head to Volusia.
Definitely, you know, it's a brand new XXX car. It's the first weekend on it, so we had to learn a little bit of things, and we just didn't qualify well. And that's the big thing, is you got to qualify in your group well enough to put yourself in position to be in that dash. And we did that tonight and was able to start up front, and you know, that definitely helps. But you know, Tony was the class of the field. I mean, at one point I didn't even think he was on the racetrack. He was so far out front. But you know, me and Lucas had a great run. Lap cars are tough to get around here when the track's this fast, because they're just as fast as we were. Or we are. Thank all these fans for coming out and during this rain, and hats off to Bubba and his crew. You know, he could have very easily pulled the plug on this thing and went home. And you know, this guy, he doesn't make no money out here at this racetrack with the low crowd that we've had here the last few nights. But the guy loves racing, and my hats off to him.